Disney gets roasted over latest Rachel Zegler Snow White disaster. You know, folks, I almost feel bad for Disney over Snow White starring Rachel Zegler at this point. Almost, but let's be real here. This is a Disney and Rachel Zegler disaster entirely of their own making. Now, we're just now a month away from the release of the Rachel Zegler Snow White movie, or the Snow White disaster, and somehow the only thing that ever gets any kind of positive traction online is people absolutely dunking on Snow White itself. I mean, look at what happened just a few weeks ago. Chat Music dropped a video basically tearing into Snow White, tearing it to shreds, and racked up over 4 million views just by reading through the comment section in a song manner where people were mercilessly roasting the trailers and stuff for Rachel Zegler movie. And if you thought that was bad, well, guess what? I mean, just a few days ago, he dropped another one. You see, part three. Yet there are now three parts to this particular saga of Chad Music roasting Snow White. And let's be real here. It's because people can't get enough of this kind of absolute train wreck, okay? And basically, I mean, what does Disney do in response? Do they course correct? Do they do some sort of damage control? Instead, they double down. Disney decides, you know what this needs? More ammunition for our critics. And because just 2 days ago, Disney dropped another brand new Snow White trailer, where actually now it's 3 days at this recording. And you think at this point they try to win people over, but nope. This trailer is somehow making things worse, and it's already got close to 2 million views. But get this: 5,100 likes versus 68,000 dislikes. That particular ratio is brutal. And the comments, well, they're not. They're exactly what you'd expect. You see, some comments include, "Never in my entire life have I wanted the villain to win this much. The end of the movie should be Gadot and the prince living happily ever after." And another person saying, "Let's be honest. There's only one real star in this movie, Gadot." And someone else also stated that, "I'm rooting for the poison apple." I mean, it's actually unanimous. Everyone's pulling for the evil queen, and this time, and that, my friends, is not a good sign when your heroine, which is Snow White, played by Rachel Zegler, is so unlikable that people are begging for the villain of the film to win. Now, as far as the Snow White trailer is concerned, maybe, just maybe, Disney pulled off a miracle and actually made Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, look watchable. Spoiler alert, they didn't. You see, they opened with Rachel Zegler Snow White saying, "When I was a little girl, my mother taught me how," well, she didn't use an accent, but "when I was a little girl, my mother taught me how to whistle, because when you whistle, it's your heart singing." What? Now, this is supposed to get us invested, especially with Rachel Zegler involved. I mean, this is how you set the tone for your big, magical Snow White fairy tale. Then we get the classic magic mirror on the wall line, and it cuts to, well, I don't even know what, but just a bunch of creepy CGI looking dwarves that look like they belong in some sort of weird fever dream. And of course, we hear more of Rachel Zegler's Snow White voiceover. You see, this could be so much fun, she says. You know what's not fun? Looking at those uncanny valley, CGI creatures that Disney somehow thought would be a good idea. Like, who actually signed off on this? It seems like they rushed the effects and stuff. I swear, Dopey looks like he just got caught standing too close to a school zone, and it's bizarre. Yet this is what Disney thinks will win people over. Now, then we also get the title card where it says Disney's Snow White, only in theaters March 21st. And I gotta say, the reaction to this is just getting worse by the day. Now, we're also close to Snow White starring Rachel Zegler hitting theaters, and it's already clear as day that it's going to bomb. Now, I don't know what Disney was thinking, but this entire project has been cursed from the beginning. From Rachel Zegler running her mouth all the time and trashing the original Snow White movie, to the absolute state of these trailers. And there's nothing about this film that's appealing to anyone so far, okay? And then there's also like the whole box office issue that we got to talk about, the box office projections. Right now, Rachel Zegler's Snow White is tracking to open, significantly lower than even the Little Mermaid did. And we all saw how that turned out. I mean, sure, it had a decent opening weekend, but in the end, it still lost money for Disney. And this I mean, this is looking way worse. There's no hype, no excitement. There's only mockery at this point, and also disdain. Okay. Now the thing is that Disney had every opportunity to avoid this Snow White disaster, whether or not the Rachel Zegler drama unfolded. They could have just simply listened to the fans. They could have respected the original Snow White. But instead, they went all in on this bizarre, modernized girl boss reimagining that nobody asked for in the first place. And the result, you got a Snow White movie that nobody wants to see. Well, except for maybe for the people who just want to hate watch it and laugh at how bad it is, okay, or bad it looks. But let's not forget Rachel Zegler's role in all of this. I mean, she's practically been the biggest anti-marketing campaign for Snow White. Okay, now from the very beginning, Rachel Zegler has been out there trashing the 1937 classic, as you all know, calling it outdated, saying Snow White doesn't need a prince to save her, that she's the leader now, and all of this nonsense. And you know what that did? Simply alienated everyone. The people who loved the classic Disney, they're gone. The general audience, not interested. Even people who might have given Snow White a chance are completely turned off by her attitude, okay, as well as sense of entitlement. And it's also impressive how thoroughly Disney has torched Snow White before it even hit theaters. Every single theater trailer, every single piece of marketing, every single interview has just dug this movie's grave even deeper, okay? Worse than a Kamala Harris campaign. And now here we are just a month out, and there's nothing that Disney can do to actually salvage this. No trailer, no clip, no last minute PR stunt is going to go ahead and undo the damage that's already been done. Now look, I know some people will say just give Snow White a chance, whatever. Maybe it'll be good, but let's be honest here. Let's be real. We've seen enough. We know that what this is, and we know what's going to be. It's going to be another soulless, corporate, driven, agenda pushing mess that has none of the heart or the magic that the original Snow White had. And the audiences are sick of it. Okay, people don't want to watch another classic Snow White story get butchered in the name of modern sensibilities or woke ideology. They want stories that actually respect their source material and the fans itself. But let's be real here. I mean, Bob Iger and Disney doesn't seem to get that. They keep making the same mistakes over and over again, and they keep paying the price for it. And look what's happened to their last few movies. The Marvels bombed, Wish bombed, Indiana Jones 5 bombed. It's the same pattern every single time. Disney keeps doubling down on the wrong ideas, and the audiences keep rejecting them. And yet they refuse to learn their lesson. Okay, so yeah, basically, here's my prediction: Rachel Zegler Snow White is going to come out, is going to flop, and Disney's going to go ahead and act completely shocked, as if they couldn't have seen this coming. They'll blame so-called toxic fans. Excuse me. They'll blame so-called review bombers. Shields will accuse people of hating Rachel Zegler. They'll blame everything except their own terrible decisions. But at the end of the day, the truth is simple: people just don't want what Disney is selling anymore. I mean, that's something that they're going to have to live with. But the best part, when Snow White starring Rachel Zegler inevitably fails, well, it's going to be another wake-up call for woke Hollywood. Maybe, or just maybe, they'll finally start to realize that audiences are no longer going to put up with this nonsense forever. Maybe they'll actually finally figure out what people want: good stories, not lifeless, agenda-driven reboots that strip away everything that made Snow White so special in the first place. But I mean, let's be real. Knowing Disney, they probably won't learn anything. They'll just keep going down this path, and they'll just keep losing money. And honestly, at this point, well, Disney deserves it. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video far across social media, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.